Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of Fearless Tarot, How to Give a Positive Reading in Any Situation, which is out now from Llewellyn Books. So if there are certain cards that you struggle with applying to your life or they frighten you, this book is wonderful for finding the empowering way to apply the card's message to your life. It is time for this week's Oracle Reveal. So earlier today on Instagram, I placed up a photo of 3 different animals, and I asked you to use your intuition and ask yourself which animal's calling out to you, because that animal has a message for you. And the animals were the pig, the owl, and also the fox. So if you're just joining us now, ask yourself which animal's getting caught in your head, or which animal is catching your attention, because there is your message. For our first animal, it says pig spirit. It says use your mind wisely. And pigs, despite the fact that we chuckle at them when we hear about them, they're actually really intelligent animals. And so this could be a time, if you're attracted to pig, to problem solve, especially when it comes to practical matters in your life at this time. This could be a time to really figure something out or think about it a lot or come up with a solution, and also to get organized in your thinking. The first card we got for pig is where it's best to place your focus this next week. And we get the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles shows a juggler on the card, and he's in front of these wavy waters. You can see that they're all hurling about in the background. And this is a symbol for life sending you waves this week. You're going to feel like there's some turbulence. And it's not necessarily good or bad. It's just unexpected. And also water in the tarot can indicate emotion. So this could indicate that there's a lot of ups and downs emotionally. And the way to handle it is like the juggler. You can see he's really flexible. He's adaptable. He's taking it in stride. He's kind of humorous. He's wearing that stupid looking hat. And he's got kind of a quality of elasticity about him. It almost looks like his hat is stretched out, as if it's made from rubber. And then also the little rubber band that's binding the 2 coins together that he's juggling. This is saying that you want to stretch this next week. You want to bend. You don't want to be rigid when you're approaching the waves that life is sending you. And also it tells you to just apply your humor to the situation. Sometimes all you can do is laugh instead of, crying or getting frustrated about it. So this card is just saying to be adaptable and to be flexible. And this is also a juggling of finances card. So it could indicate that there's a solution you're needing to come up with financially this next week. And it could just be as simple as moving resources from one part of your life into another. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you pick the pig, is the 6 of Cups, and that is always the card of the past. So if we're doing like the pig problem solving, and then we got the 2 of Pentacles here, which is saying that you're trying to be flexible with whatever life is hurling at you, the 6 of Cups is telling you you've already learned this lesson in the past, that the solution you're looking for isn't from reinventing the wheel right now or completely overhauling your life and starting again. Instead, it's saying to look back, to look at when you've encountered a situation like this before. The 6 of Cups can also be a card of memory and remembering the best part of yourself and applying that person to the current situation. If you found that you've gotten a little more rigid at this time, these cards could indicate that you might want to remember a time when you were a little bit more flexible and took things in stride and really apply that person to this particular situation. And then finally, we got the mythic archetype that's going to help you, and we got Helios, the god of the sun. He's also the card that says illumination on the bottom of it. And what this could really indicate is that you're gaining clarity. Things are being brought to the light. Whenever we got Helios as well, he's indicating that a brand new day is dawning. And so this is a time to really feel a little bit more confident as you're moving forward. And it just looks like the distant way ahead is a little bit more clear. You're going to be able to see these waves coming. They're not going to take you by surprise. And so just prepare for them and kind of loosen up. And instead of, being prepared and tight in facing them, just kind of relax and just allow it. Next, we have the owl spirit, and it says, you see clearly now. An owl is that nocturnal bird that can see in the dark. It's also a symbol for wisdom. So this could be a time to get quiet, maybe spend some time alone at night and do some reflective work. But the owl always calls you towards the magic and the mystery. The first card for Owl is where it's best to place your focus this next week. We got the King of Swords. The King of Swords in this case would indicate that it's important to stay focused, to be really disciplined with your focus. There's something that requires your attention this next week. And you can see the King of Swords is about as opposite from that Two of Pentacles figure I was talking about with the pig as you can get. Whereas this figure is very flexible and adaptable. This figure is really entrenched, rigid, really set in his ways. And so for Owl, this could be a time where you don't want to bend, where you don't want to relent, where you really do want to stay focused and determined. Also, the King of Swords can be persuaded to change his mind, but it has to make logical sense. It has to be something that is practical or reasonable. So this could be the time when you're not so much listening to what your feelings are telling you, but instead you're just doing what makes sense, and especially applying your common sense to this particular situation. Also with the King of Swords, there isn't a lot of wiggle room with him. So it might feel like you're really having to walk a fine line this next week, or that you really don't have a lot of room to mess up or make a mistake. And so it's just important that you follow the rules and you get this done. And if you do adhere to every, I that needs to get dotted and T that needs to get crossed, you're going to get through this okay. The next card is Advice from Your Inner Wisdom if you picked Owl. And what a symbol for Owl, the bird that's always associated with death and transformation. Here we see the Death card. It's indicating that you're just coming to a finishing line in one aspect of your life. It's saying that there's a threshold that it's time to cross, that you've either outgrown something or that you've really developed yourself past something that you've just found no more use in. The Death card is saying that one aspect of your life is needing to die at this time in order for the new you to step forward unburdened and free. And the Death card scares us a little bit because there's a sense of finality with this card. It's like, okay, I'm making this decision. I'm really feeling like I'm kind of in this tight spot. But this is saying to keep your commitment and make this transformation right now. You're not going to regret it. You won't be able to go back, you won't be able to return to the past, but you will be able to begin another part of your life or another chapter of your life with a lot more clarity. And the King of Swords could just say, it's time to do what makes sense at this time. It's time to give up the thing or cut the thing out of your life with that sword, which no longer serves you. And then finally, we got the mythic archetype that's going to help you if you pick the Owl. And we got Aphrodite, the goddess of love. And when Aphrodite appears, she indicates that what will help you with some of these harsh things that you're dealing with is applying love to the situation, softening your heart, and also making the decisions that are based on self-love and taking care of yourself. Aphrodite can also indicate that this is a time for self-care. You really need to nurture yourself and how you're feeling. And it could also be a time to really delve into relationships. Sometimes Aphrodite with these tough change cards as well could indicate that you're navigating through some changes in your relationships at this time, and you need to know that you are correct, that it's time to walk on or it's time to leave something behind that no longer serves you. And then finally, we have the Fox spirit, and he says, think on your feet, and fox are nimble, and they're also cunning. So this could be a time where you're really kind of using your brain and kind of finding the way around the puzzle. Fox is also known for camouflage, and they can blend in. So this could be a time where you're kind of stepping back, you're observing, you're kind of watching others do their thing, and also just kind of watching when it's the right time to make your move. Where it's best to place your focus if you picked Fox this next week is with the Queen of Cups, which means on your feelings. Honor your feelings. Of all the Cups cards in the tarot, the Queen of Cups holds the most elaborately decorated chalice. And she puts all of her feelings into it and she honors it. And what this is saying is that all your feelings need to be honored at this time. Not just the happy ones, not just the joyful ones, but also the ones that might make you sad or the ones that need to just be heard. The Queen of Cups tells you that to allow a feelings, hold on you to loosen, you have to feel it. And once you feel it, it stops choking you from within and it starts to let you go. The next card is Advice from Your Inner Wisdom, and then we get the King of Cups. So we got the couple here. And so again, King of Cups is saying, remain steady on that stone platform amid the waves. That this is going to be an emotionally tumultuous time. Also, this is a couple card, so this could be a time to rely on your relationships, to delegate some responsibilities, or even to ask for help. But I really feel a harmony coming up for Fox this next week, especially with relationships. And the mythic archetype that's going to help you if you picked Fox is Dionysus, which is all about letting your hair down, enjoying yourself. Stop taking things so seriously. Maybe Dionysus is saying that it's time to allow some room for joy, as well as all the serious emotions that you've been experiencing. It's time to transcend things, and it's also time to experience your life in your chest, in your heart, and not just in your head. And that is this week's Oracle. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can always check me out at elliotoracle.com. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.